Hey there, and we're welcome to playthrough of Darkest Dungeon. We're going to be playing with the Color of Madness and the Crimson Quartz. Download contents available, as well as the Flagellant and Districts. So, we're going to make sure we're playing this on Stygian difficulty. Start the campaign, and let's go to Bloodmoon. Yeah, perfect name. Gonna try and keep every video down to about 30 minutes.
Along the old road. It winds with a troubling serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
I love the voice acting of Wayne. Absolutely fantastic voice acting. So, how's everybody's day going? Waiting here, enjoying the Darkest Dungeon. Not quite yet, though. I'm going to try and keep every video down to about between 30 minutes and an hour, and that should really reduce the load on upload times, because I tried uploading a couple of 2-hour videos, and they took quite some time, and you know, if anything goes wrong with an upload, it doesn't take me forever to get it right. So, map navigation, right? Any dialogue I'll leave open for anyone to play. I've played the game quite a lot, so...
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead.
I'll treat it as if you haven't played the game before, so I'll explain things as I'm going.
Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
Alright. So, we're going to go ahead and use Open Vein on this guy. He's got some protection, but since we surprised him, we get to go first. On both of our characters. If you see his resistances, it's direct addition and subtraction when it comes to percentages on this game, so you can see his resistances. He's got 25 stun, 20 blight. He originally had more on bleed, but we debuffed his bleed and got rid of that, so he bled quite easily. And then we've got debuff 15, move 25. I'll explain these debuffs as they come handy and when they happen, so rather than loading us all up right now, I'll just do it as it happens. So we're gonna just go ahead and go with Smite since it's his highest damage skill. The stunning blow will only inflict a small amount of damage, so...
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Loot, loot, loot. Very important. We're gonna need quite a bit of that, and gonna have to make sure we get all the loot we can get. I am not curious about that. You touch that, and you're in for a bad time. Worse than Sans is gonna give you.
An ambush. Send these vermin a message.
Oh, Jesus.
The
You
rightful
surprised
owner
us.
has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
Right, so this front guy is able to deal stress damage attacks. Stress is a mechanic that is very important in Darkest Dungeon. It's unlike your HP. Once your stress gets so high, your character starts to behave more erratically. Enemies tend to target your highest stress and lowest HP character too, so it's possible for them to dogpile you with multiple attacks if you don't take care of someone and leave them very neglected. This dude, he's quite vulnerable to bleed. This attack will buff us up, but it's more worth it to go straight for the damage on this guy and get him dead as quickly as possible. This tracking shot is going to come in handy later on when we have enemies who are in stealth, but that won't appear until we get our heroes up to level 2 or 3 and take on our first veteran quest. So he resisted both of the bleeds. That's unfortunate. Alright, so this guy gets to go first, Reynald. Now, we can choose to straight up inflict damage, but he's not gonna die straight up. But, if you see, we've got 100% on our stun base chance. Subtract that from his 50%, where you got a 50-50 chance of stunning him. If we stun him, we can avoid some stress damage. This is the tutorial area mission, so if we can manage to get out of here without taking any stress damage from this big guy, that's great. But all of our HP will heal up after we return to towns and whatnot, so we can safely not worry about taking HP damage right now. We want to prevent the stress, so to do that, we need to get a stun. Hopefully, we get a stun. We could also go for this to buff up the torch, but just like the tracking shot, it's not really worth it to go for boosting our torch, because right now we do take a little bit of stress since our light is dim, but we need to make sure that we get him down. Alright, so he's going to rain of whips on us and inflict some stress on both of us. Not very good, but go for another bleed attack on him and repeat the strategy. Alright, there we go. We got the stun on him successfully. So we prevented one of his attacks. Nice. Right, so with the knight, we could try to go straight for some damage on him. But that could result in, I don't know. You know what? Might as well just kill him. Let's not try to be fancy with it.
No intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Monsters die to leave corpses. Corpses actually temporary obstacles. So yeah, when you kill enemies on this game, they leave behind their corpse. And you can manually destroy them with damage, but if an enemy dies from bleed or blight, no corpse is left behind, as it says in their description of the game mechanics. Oh man, I wonder how YouTubers do this, man. Focusing on commentating while you're also trying to play games is so difficult. And you know, I always looked at their videos and was like hee hee ha ha whenever they tried to do commentary and videos and stuff at the same time. And geez, it really is hard to focus on so much all at once. And they make it look so easy too. Those guys must be real professionals. Alright, so we finished off that enemy and got a little bit of loot here. We completed the quest and we can exit, but I'm going to click return to adventuring because we see a chest here. And yeah, this chest is trapped. There's nothing you can use on it. There's nothing you can ever do. But just for craps and giggles, I'll just open it up. And voila, it's trapped. But he resisted the blight. It wouldn't have mattered. There was no stress damage to be taken, and we only took one stress hit from the big guy. So that's very good on our part. Alright, so we finished our first mission. What do we got here? Skilled Gambler. Nice. Nice little positive quirk for our friend Dismas.
Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now.
Oh,
and you are bound
I forgot.
to them.
Yeah, the My YouTube Campaign Estate. I guess that's gonna be the name. I thought it was a perfect name when we started, but I forgot about the estate part. Alright, so graveyard.
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion. Trinkets and charms, gathered from all the forgotten corners of the earth. In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
This will allow us to look through all of the darkest dungeon cutscenes, as well as any pieces of paper or story we've collected. And these are the collected journals. And as we see the cutscenes, if I make a mistake and, you know, skip something or you don't get to hear it, we can always come back here and I'll play it for you guys.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
Alright, let's see what we got here for the Doctor. Ooh, Plague Doctor has some nice starting. And Hippocratic. Unerring. Not bad. Guilty Conscience and Ruminator are pretty serious, though. Hylomania, obsessed with material things. Oh, Lord. Oh, but we have Judgment. And we've got Divine Grace and Comfort. Decent team.
What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield? A sister of battle, pious and unrelenting.
So, as you can see, I don't have as many mods installed as other YouTubers, but we do have all of the colors. Just play around with the colors a little. Just leave Dismas and Reynald as their default colors and get moving into our first dungeon, since there isn't much we can do here.
A mecca of madness and morbidity. Your work begins.
Leave all of the dialogue up for you guys to, or I'm sorry, all of the dialogue up to read. Yeah. This is a good party choice. Yeah, Plague Doctor in slot 3, slot 2. Yeah, this is good. So, our first mission is very scripted.
The cost of preparedness, measured now in gold, later in blood.
Yeah, on Stygian, 8 food and 4 torches, not enough. I'll bring 12, thank you very much. And about 10 torches. Take 2 skeleton keys. What else do we need? We need herbs for the alchemy table. And I think 1 shovel? Yeah, that ought to do it. We could bring bandages, but we will not need them for a curio. Yeah, I think we bring 1 shovel, because we find 1 at the start. Then there's a path and some... Yeah, I think this is about right. 2 keys. Or is it 1 key? 1 key. 1 key? No, yeah, we need 2 keys. Just in case Reynold gets sticky fingers. Our favorite kleptomaniac Reynold. That's going to be a problem later on in this campaign. So I think we're quite prepared for this mission. 10 torches, 12 food. I'm bringing lots of extra because you want to prepare for what will beat the hell out of you, and if you don't, the darkest dungeon will eat you alive. So in the ruins, we'll find a lot of enemies who are very vulnerable to blight, have a decently low stun resist. So our Plague Doctor is usually going to be the most valuable player in these dungeons. And as I said, the first dungeon is scripted. Both of our other characters took 25 stress for coming in here, since they were level zeros.
Reward for a task well performed.
And to our first battle we go. So we're going to open up with a stun, actually. We're going to focus down his friend there.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
And I think we're just going to smite him here.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
Easy. There's no key you can use in that box
beyond
because it's
measure.
already unlocked.
Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
And this is where we use our shovels. If you try to clear it by hand, you'll take a ridiculous amount of stress, and it's just not worth it. Take a shovel. Take multiple shovels whenever you go into a dungeon. And keep our light source nice and high. A surprise! Oh, what? Alright. Okay. Unfortunate. And she resisted both. And that's a dodge. Oof. This occultist is the most important enemy to kill as soon as possible. She's very dangerous. The amount of stress damage she's going to inflict on the party, it's very, very naughty. Gonna move back to get him into position. We are taking a lot of extra stress, and all because of a surprise. Very, very, very unfortunate. I'm gonna try and shuffle her to the front. No, we're gonna miss again. Yeah. Well, I did pick Stygian difficulty. Good thing I took enough torches and food.
Another one falls.
Please. There we go. Jesus. My first hit on her. aside from the start of the...
As the
There
sun
we go,
falls,
payback!
a faint hope blossoms.
Now we can stop taking stress damage. The HP damage from these other enemies is not an issue. What is an issue is taking 50 stress on our second fight. That's a problem. Something we will soon rectify with a fountain we're going to find in a little bit.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Nice, we got a critical there. And that'll give us a chance to disarm some of the traps that are coming to our way. Got a curio in the middle of this hallway. The next room here... Oh, Reynald. Hey! You son of a heretic. Alright. Oh, I guess that's gonna be our kleptomaniac
spirits
taking
are
our
lifted,
stuff again.
and purpose is made clear.
Alright, so I'm going to try and move this Bone Arbalist out of position into the front ranks, because as the Bone Arbalist is moved towards the front, they won't be able to use their more powerful attacks, shuffling him out of position. And stunning him will get rid of one of his turns. We can focus on his more threatening allies. Better yet, we might as well just kill him now. He's got quite a high health pool at 18 HP. Oof! That miss. It burns. Alright, so I'm going to go for another stun on this guy. Try to skip as many of their turns as possible and contain their damage. Alright, so we can do 4 to 8 damage on this guy, or 5 to 9 damage on this guy. I think we should go for here, because we may get the kill. Going for the kill is usually the best thing that you can do in Darkest Dungeon.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
When your enemy is dead, you don't have to worry so much. So I'm going to go for a stun on this guy, because a stun is basically the same thing as killing them. And it'll clear this corpse and allow my knight to attack whomever he pleases. And as you can see, the bayonet jab. Now, that deals significantly less damage than some of their more powerful targeted attacks. And next turn, this bone soldier is going to take probably 2 hits to kill. Same for this guy. I'm going to go for the bone soldier. Since this enemy has recovered from a stun, we'll be able to stun him again.
Eradicated.
And now we'll just follow up with some more attacks. How much damage do we need? The other 2 characters in my party are able to inflict enough damage to finish off that enemy. So I'm just trying to try and sneak in a little cheeky heal here. And we got a very, very satisfying crit.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Excellent. Okay, so we've got a Drifter's Buckle for the Highwaymen here. I think I'm actually gonna equip that immediately. So this Holy Fountain, you can interact with items very frequently in Darkest Dungeon. They call them curios, as they said. You can use items to help produce a positive effect. The vast majority of the time, just touching something is a bad idea. You normally want to use something to cleanse the curio. And in this case, you know, you use things that make sense. So, holy water, holy fountain, and you can use it on it to produce a much more positive effect than it normally would. and that'll alleviate some of the stress off of our Vestal. So this Drifter's Buckle that we found here gives a chance to disarm and increases your dodge. Now you'll see these traps on the floor, and you see with this we have a 100% chance to disarm, but without it you see we're at 90%. So we can guarantee that he will successfully disarm a trap with this nice little trinket we've found. Keep the light nice and bright so we don't get all stressed out. Disarm this trap as well. Guaranteed to move those traps out the way. Now normally, if you don't get an opportunity to scout, your characters will all have to roll to dodge a trap. Someone may fail or succeed, and they will receive damage because of the trap. Alright, so I'm going to try and do the same thing and move this cultist acolyte out of position so that the rest of my troops may attack her. And she's the most dangerous because she's inflicting high stress damage. As I said before, they're most likely to target the highest stress and lowest HP character that they can. The cultist is able to hit any rank. Some attacks cannot hit certain ranks. Like for example, if you see this plague grenade and the incision is able to hit rank 1 or rank 2. But in this case, you see the dots are connected. That means it's an area of effect attack. So if there were 2 enemies in the back, it would hit both of them. Sometimes a large enemy will take up multiple spaces, and in which case that large enemy doesn't take multiple hits, just the one hit themselves from the attack. Double resist! Very unfortunate. Jesus. You'd almost think I was better off just using the blight to poison her. So let's inflict as much damage as we can. So unfortunate that it failed on both rolls. Alright, so since I get a damage bonus versus Unholy, this guy's actually within kill range, whereas this guy's not. Now the Cultist Brawler is giving us a debuff of bleeding, but it's only 1 per turn. But this debuff of inflicting extra stress, we can heal that ailment with medicinal herbs, which it'd be nice if I can get rid of some of the stress on her, but we were so unfortunate to miss so many attacks in a row that our Vestal is in grave danger as of right now.
Destroyed.
So we're gonna go for the poison on her, and we get it.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Alright, so I'm gonna restore a little bit of life to this character. Or, no. Yeah, might as well restore life. She inflicts as much damage as he's gonna probably deal. Let's get a stun on this guy and try to skip one of his turns. Nope, he resisted it too. Oof. I am missing a lot of really high percentage chances here. And I'm paying the price for it, but we're going to succeed in this mission. For sure, but at what cost, I'm thinking now. Alright, so hopefully this Cultist Brawler doesn't get to go first. I'm gonna try and get the kill on my Vestal to reduce her stress just by a little bit. Getting a kill has a chance to reduce stress, and every little bit helps at this point. Take all we can get.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and
I'm gonna use a
insidious
skeleton
killer.
key on this heirloom chest. Disease resistance and a bust. Excellent.
If only
Get a skeleton
treasure
key
could
from that.
staunch the
I
flow
brought the
of
extra skeleton key
otherworldly
purposely
corruption.
because I figured that Reynold might get sticky fingers and try to take that skeleton key that's preset to spawn there. I'd really like to kill the final group of enemies, but I also don't want to lose my Vestal's mind.
In radiance, may we find
Either way,
victory.
she has to go to stress treatment after this mission because it was just too much. Reynold, no! No! That's like 8 food, man. Hey, come on now. That's 300 gold. Reynold, sometimes, man, you kind of irritate me, Reynold. You know that? I'm going for this last fight anyways. It's quite greedy to actually do this, but we need gold.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
She's definitely going to lose her mind, though. But she's going to get sent to stress treatment after this anyways, so... I'm going to eat 4 pieces of food. Fun note, your character can only eat 4 pieces of food at a time. Any more than that, and it'll say that they're full. So until you fight or rest at a campfire. So, you know, infinity food, you can still only heal so much. Excellent, we've surprised them. So, what I'm going to try and do here is going to go straight for damage on this Bone Courtier. And he dodges it! Are these enemies equipped with Jordans or something? Yeesh! This is insane! This is insane! Oh, man. Well,
Obliterated.
at least I one-shotted one of them, but not quite the one that I wanted to. Alright. And resolve fails. Irrational.
Reeling, gasping, taken over the edge into madness.
Alright, any additional stress on her doesn't entirely matter because a character will be capped out at 100 stress once the mission completes. And once they're sent back to town.
Confusion, nerves, and panic.
Alright. That
Great
guy's
is the
done.
weapon that cuts on its
If only
own.
our first round would have went like that. Not much you can do, though. That's Darkest Dungeon for you. That's definitely Darkest Dungeon for you.
Well struck.
Excellent strike. If only we could have did that on the stress enemies. Alright, so I'm going to try and finish this enemy off quickly before any more stress damage is inflicted. Switch places. Perhaps we can get some training and get some anti-shuffle going on.
Be wary.
That really screwed us.
Triumphant
The very
pride
first
precipitates a
first
dizzying
fight.
fall.
We get surprised. Well, we got the last mission, or last fight out of the area, so that's what I brought the extra skeleton key for. Alright, first mission of Darkest Dungeon. Very rough. Very, very rough. But hopefully we will be able to do better. This is the Move Stone trinket. A lot of the early trinkets really aren't worthwhile. They tend to give you a speed reduction and other such things, and they're not really that worth it. Fairweather Fighter and Evasive, quite nice. Hey, we'll get 20%
You
damage.
answered the letter. Now, like me, you are a part of this place.
Alright, so we finished our first tutorial area mission, and we got roughed up pretty bad. And we've got a Hellion in the station wagon, and a Jester, two very good people to add to our roster. And we're gonna cut this off at about 40 minutes. I'm just gonna do some macro management inside the town and end the video afterwards. Like to start my videos with combat and end it with macro. So that way we can get all the fun at the start.
Cards and curtained rooms promise solace to the weary and broken alike.
Alright, so this is the tavern. We should be able to get every hero in here and, you know, get them to reduce their stress. I'm wondering if we should send her towards the brothel, where she might get a speed increase. She also might catch a disease, and she is sickly. I'm not actually sure if the brothel, if a character is susceptible to the increased chance of disease. I think it might be just a percentage chance for an event to happen to them that might cause them to have a disease. If we send her to the penance hall, though, she might get a 20%.
The pews set straight. The abbey calls to the faithful.
She might get a 20% chance to, chance to increase her damage by 20%. They can also get negative traits from this, like becoming faithless, or they might get a love interest in the brothel. I suppose going first is just as important as inflicting damage. We'll send the Vestal to the brothel. Yeah, let's do it. And is there anything we can do? Okay, so we can increase the stress recovery just a little bit, which I'm okay with that.
Diversion and dalliance await those who cross the threshold with coin in hand.
We need to save some heirlooms so that way we can make sure we have enough to upgrade the guild and the blacksmith. But investing in a few small upgrades early on to help with stress recovery and the abbey and the tavern, it can help you, but we don't want to invest so much that we're unable to upgrade the blacksmith, the guild, and the stagecoach, because the guild and the blacksmith, they end up taking a very large amount of deeds, upwards of 40 or maybe 50 deeds, just to get the next upgrade. So we want to be careful and take heed about that. I'm going to go ahead and just recruit both of these heroes.
Barbaric rage and unrelenting savagery make for a powerful ally.
I realize now that I made the mistake of not upgrading the stagecoach
More arrive,
immediately.
foolishly seeking fortune and glory in this
Should have done that before the
of
tutorial,
the damned.
but I foolishly did not do so. So we can also blame my own misplay on that. So my healer is going to be out for a week. Going to send her out to the brothel. I forgot to press confirm. Confirm this treatment. Increase the amount of stress that she's going to recover from that. Once she's done doing our business at the brothel, we'll have her go back into the team, earn our way into the fold, and move onwards. There is an argument to be made that I could have maybe taken the Jester and continuously casted stress relief on her, but this early on, I don't want to be taking those kinds of risks. And it isn't that necessary for a healer, and we'd take more stress damage trying to heal that character's stress over and over. Alright, so it's been about 40 minutes. I'm gonna stop recording about here and take a short break and get my next video going. Thank you everyone for watching my first video into the Darkest Dungeon, and I hope all of you get a nice chance to enjoy my suffering as I play.